could you say that Final Fantasy is really not so much like a Paradise Lost story, but more like the difference between length and girth?
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 19 of UGP. I am joined with Andy.
Hello.
And Kevin.
Hey everyone.
So we're going to have a short, simple, to-the-point episode, starting off with BioShock Infinite, scoring big on Metacritic scores with a 95 out of 100 score.
Not surprised, really. It's a hell of a game.
It's, yeah, I'm not surprised. It truly is one of the best games of this year.
Yeah, it's definitely awesome. I mean, I got the premium edition. It's not really...
Ooh, aren't you special?
No, the premium edition, I have to say, was actually a letdown. I thought it was going to be much better than what it ended up being. They give you this like little puzzle piece character guy made of plastic that you can use for an upcoming board game. But I really think that the content of the box was lacking. And also the Songbird edition was just retarded too, because it just had a giant songbird. I think they should have...
Can we expect a unboxing video in the near future?
No. I already unboxed it. Well, what I think is that the premium edition should have included, or even the Songbird edition, should have had, like, Elizabeth. Like a statue of her, or a statue of Booker and her, or Booker. Fuck the bird. No one cares about the bird.
Kinky.
Actually,
you just garnered a furry audience. Congratulations.
Fuck the bird. Okay, that's really what we've established here on the show, is that we do
Shout
nothing.
out to our furry friends in the audience.
Yes.
Don't bring the furries into here.
Kevin, you were saying?
My little brony?
Okay. Oh, fuck you, John. Fuck you. Okay, we're getting back on track to BioShock.
Hug it out, bitches.
Okay. Yeah, BioShock Infinite is just... wow.
It is wow. I
It
cannot
is,
stop
because,
playing it.
Because you know what it is? They went back to the basics. They went back to what made the first BioShock great. A single-player campaign that was extremely detailed.
Exactly.
And like the fact in its, in exploration, in just screwing around with little things, just wow. The backstory of the city. What I also thought was interesting was that when the game starts out, unlike BioShock, where as soon as you get to the city, it's already gone to hell. This gradually happens.
This city's still alive. This city
is when you
still
first
active.
go there, you're seeing it with people. You're seeing it like it normally is.
You're seeing it before the chaos.
You have to love the dichotomy of it looking all beautiful and sunny and all in the clouds. And then you start seeing like the true unadulterated horrors of living there.
Oh, yeah.
To the contrast of how freaking... Because a city in the sky, that's beautiful, man. But, ugh.
Not just any city, like a steampunk city.
Oh, yeah.
A steampunk city, but the only problem is that it's in 1912.
It always makes you scratch your head and say, what if?
Yeah.
Not our best year. Or decade.
Well, one thing that they never go into, especially with the original first two BioShocks.
By the way, I am going to give out like the blinking light of, this is going to be spoiler free, guys. So let's not.
It's not going to be spoiled. But
I'm
saying is they never get down. They never get down and dirty and explain how these cities ended up where they were. Like they never explained how Rapture actually was built. They never
see, I
explain
think that's much
how
better.
Columbia was actually built.
I think that's actually much better because it makes the player infer and try to take in his environment in order to gather the backstory of everything else. It forces the player to be part not only of the story, but part of the unveiling of the story, and not just
Well, you kind
an
of wonder
observer.
that in 1912, why the fuck are there jet engines on the underneath the city? Like,
Well, if you notice, they're actually using blimps to hold up the buildings.
not all the buildings.
Not all the
If
buildings.
if you look underneath a lot of the bigger portions of the buildings, there are jet engines underneath.
They run on delicious whale oil.
Nice. But I have to say, I like the combat a little bit better than I did in BioShock 1 2. However, I just think that the instead of plasmids, what the fuck are they called now? I forget.
Vigors.
I don't know. I think they really gave Vigors a nerf, a substantial nerf, because I find myself rarely ever using them. Whereas
Well,
in
the thing is
BioShock,
that
I was using
you're
it all the
swinging
time.
around the city on a giant rail system at all
No,
times, and
you're not.
these huge, large
you played
open
it?
areas.
Have you played it?
I've played a little, and but the main thing is that I've conversed with a couple of friends that have actually finished the game. We've looked over some game footage. They've streamed it. But there are a few times where you find yourself just literally roller coastering around these huge, large environments. I mean,
Not
Yeah.
often.
It's not. It's.
well,
not
if it was
something-
often, it would lose its savoir-faire. It's. I don't know. Yes, I can understand the vigors have been nerfed, and let's face it, because you have this incredible AI. I mean,
Oh yeah.
just think for a second. We're talking about a game that is supposed to be from the beginning to the end an escort mission.
Oh yeah,
Man,
and
it
they do it
doesn't
very well.
suck.
It's at the
It
point where
doesn't
I even
suck.
forget that
That's
she's
another
there.
thing. Is I think its strength is that you don't have to babysit Elizabeth.
The first
Yeah,
thing
she
she
could
says
take care
to
of
you is,
herself.
"Yes, there
Exactly. Like she takes care of herself. She helps you look for items.
Unlike Resident Evil 4, you don't have to hide her in a fucking trash bin.
you go." No, even
Resident Evil 5, where they use up all your items.
exactly what I'm saying is she is extremely useful. But I don't know. I haven't played it on the harder difficulties. I've been playing it currently on normal or medium, whatever it is. But I find that she tends to give you ammo way too often. You know, where
Well,
she'll say press F and then she'll fling you like ammo for the gun you're currently using.
Well, she's a giver. Wink, wink.
Ha ha ha. But then, but she gives you whatever you're currently using. So if you're using salts, which is basically the fuel for your vigors, if you're using it a lot, she'll just constantly say, "Oh, I have some here, catch," and then you'll use it. Or if you're about to die, she'll give you health pack, catch. Or if you're using an RPG, rocket propelled grenade, you can be an animal with that gun, camp out in one spot because she'll constantly keep giving you ammo.
Well, actually, she doesn't do that all the time, because there were several times where I was in the middle of the battle.
That's because you just suck.
She handed me no.
Oh, come on.
She handed me ammo and then said, "I can't find any more."
Oh yeah, she'll say that.
There is
but
a limit,
Not
it's
really
not like,
though. Like in the one,
It's not
there's
something you can
okay.
exploit.
There's one mission where you're put in this room and there's just constant waves of enemies. I found myself on top of a balcony, just blasting away with a rocket propelled grenade, and she gave me ammo like 7 or 8 times. And it's that kind of thing where I'm like, well, I think they went a little excessive with that. Like, you can crutch on it. I do like, though, how how you needed the, what do you call it? The revitalize or vitalize system. What was it called in BioShock, where if you died, you go to the Vita chamber or something like that?
Yeah, the Vita chamber.
Yeah, I like how they replace that with her, where she'll, you'll see a little cutscene of her, bringing you back to life.
Yeah.
I think that's very well
She
done.
drags you off. And that's the thing. It's not like you're in the same area. You could tell she dragged you off away
Yes.
from the action
Exactly.
and revived you.
Yes, definitely
So-
very well done in that respect. I mean, a lot of things I like about it also is just there's a lot of detail. And this is something that, we saw in the original BioShock. We saw lots and lots of detail where, they even went as far as to have specialized advertisements on the intercoms, saying, "Hey, be a good buddy, buy," and doing things like that.
World building.
Yes, world
Yeah.
building. then in BioShock 2, they basically didn't do shit because you didn't have any announcements. You didn't have like that atmosphere. And then they brought it back, but they brought it back with a vengeance because they went above and beyond what the original BioShock offered.
There's several times in the game where you can find like these little oh shit, what do they call them? Kinetoscopes.
Kinetoscopes, yes.
Yeah, the ones where you look down into them, and you want your from there you can actually learn how all the events that happened before.
I never bothered to watch them.
Yeah, like
they just take too long.
It's done up like a newsreel where it has a title and it says like Comstock opens Columbia, and then it shows the actual video, and it's very fascinating how they did that.
Now they
do. And there's also like little binoculars that you could find that you can just look at the environments.
Yes. One thing they did go I think this is definitely a much darker game than the original BioShock. I know like the original BioShock was a psychological twists and all that stuff, but I mean I'm talking about getting down into like one of the vigors you can use. Now in BioShock, you can use an ability that was like Possess, where you would throw it, or in Rage, I believe it was called. So you throw it at one of the enemies, they get all pissed off, and they start fighting each other, right? But it was more of like comedic relief because, they're just cursing each other out, hitting each other, but they really, you didn't feel bad for them. In this one, you can have Possession, and when you upgrade it, you can use it on humans. So now you throw it at a policeman who has a nightstick. He'll work and fight for you. If he does not get killed by anyone else, when the time limit reaches its end, he will actually commit suicide in front of you. He'll take that club, start beating his head in until he's dead. If he has a handgun, he puts it to his head and fires. If he has a machine gun, he puts it to his chest and fires multiple rounds into his chest. If he has a shotgun, he blasts himself away.
Yeah, this game is friggin' dark.
It is dark as can be.
Isn't it wonderful?
Oh, yeah, I was caught off guard. I was like, I felt really bad for the thing.
Also, and I'm not saying that the game is this, but I'm saying that if someone who is not used to BioShock, one could possibly say it is racist.
Oh, yeah.
It's not trying to.
I'm going to have to stop you right there.
Yeah, I'm not saying it is.
Racism, bigotry, the whole shebang. These people are setting up a story that takes place in 1912.
Yeah,
Back then, this wasn't racist. This was just funny. Them niggas are funny.
What I'm afraid of is, the anti-game lobby.
Well, anyone is always going to take offense to something, and I can understand what you're saying, Kevin. You got a good
point.
What
I'm afraid is that they're going to take this and say, see, video games are racist, or something like that.
No.
Yeah.
Because they always try to do that.
They always do it, and they're always going to find a way. And if it's not that, they're going to say, it's sexist because Ellie doesn't shoot a gun, or it's... they're always going to find something to be pissed off.
It's racist because at one point you can throw a baseball at an interracial couple.
The raffle scene.
The raffle, that was shocking, because I was not expecting that.
I don't agree it was as shocking as, like I said before, like the first thing you see is like the two different bathrooms. Once again, we're not spoiling anything. We're not spoiling anything.
This is like all within the first 10 minutes.
That's weird. I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
I definitely suggest you play it again, because when you see it, that's what like plants you like in the time. That's what like smacks you in the face and says, this is 1912, bitch. And when we say this is 1912. So, look, there's the colored bathroom, there's the white bathroom. There's I don't know, for me it was extremely shocking because it's not something that I expected to see in a video game. But It's like, not only is it there, but if you go into one of them, you'll see something that really, also just drives it home. I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm going to say, if you plan on or did purchase BioShock in the first 10 minutes, there's a bathroom. There's a scene in one of them that it's an experience. It's something that really
is. It really sucks you in.
You know what I'm talking about, John? In that, the blacks only bathroom?
Yes.
Yes, okay, it's just, damn.
Yes.
I'm going to have to replay that because I didn't see that.
I definitely suggest it because it will make the game that much more interesting.
And the other thing is going into like emotions, not to make fun of David Cage, not to
eat it.
Hey, just chill, buddy, down boy. you really do feel for these characters.
Yeah.
I did not feel for anybody in the original BioShock. I honestly didn't give a shit. I wanted to blast everyone away. In this one,
that was kind of like the thing that they were going for, though. The whole, Ayn Rand objectivism thing. You're not supposed to feel shit for anyone. You're just supposed to get the.
In this one, I mean, of course, I'm gonna definitely kill anybody who's out to kill me, but like, especially with Elizabeth, you actually feel for this person. Like, there is a point where you lie to her. I'm not going to explain what it is or whatever, but you lie to her. And her reaction to that lie just makes you feel like, why the fuck did I lie to her? Like, you feel embarrassed that you lied to a virtual character. That's how well they did
What's
this.
incredible about this is that it's not so much the character, because the emotions that they show, the voice acting, the script, everything is top tier. But the fact is that they worked on the AI for Elizabeth so well that you no longer think it's a character. You think it's another person.
Exactly.
It's less of a co-op experience, and you protect her because, you want to fucking protect her. It's not something where you have to do it because the game tells you. It's something where the game puts you in a scenario and you feel like you choose to protect this person.
Exactly.
And that choice, that illusion of choice, is what makes this so fucking memorable.
Like, your first reaction, your first interaction with her, it's like the whole damsel in distress like thing, and you just like
and the books. The books.
Yes. But it's just
she throws the book at you.
Okay, chill. But it's just...
I thought it was hilarious.
Okay, it's very well done. And it's one of those games I can find myself replaying over and over and over and finding new ways to experience it each time. You're given choices. You're given options. I don't know if they play out any differently. I'm going to have to play it a few more times. But based off of, the few hours I've had with this game, I'm just like, wow. This is worth $60 hands down, and I never say that. I really rarely ever say that. This is worth the $60. It is that fucking good. On top of that, they didn't go overboard with DRM. It's based off of the Steam DRM, which is the same DRM that's on Half-Life 2, Half-Life, Counter-Strike.
And
you can easily, get rid of it because,
so it's non-intrusive.
It's non-intrusive.
Yeah.
It is top notch. My only real complaint is it takes a fucking long time to install. It's on 3 DVDs. I think we're at that point where it's time to start whipping out the Blu-ray discs.
You know what? That's funny.
Digital downloads, my friend.
Digital downloads are slower. If the data transfer rate between the disc and my computer was like 10, 15 megabytes a second, why the fuck would I want to download a 17 gig game at 4 megabytes a second?
I'm more on the side of digital distribution.
John?
I'm on the side of digital distribution because it's cheaper. Yes, Kevin?
But it takes forever.
John, it's funny you mentioned that because I was thinking the same thing when I was installing it. I'm just like, why isn't this on a Blu-ray?
Exactly.
If this game is that big, how big was it? Like 13 gigs?
It was 17 gigs.
17 gigs. If it's that big, why put it on a DVD?
Well,
why not just put it on a Blu-ray?
Here's to really say the facts. I mean, 99% of PC gamers have DVD drives, not Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah.
I'm one of the, few. It's not commonplace enough. I'm sure Sony would have wished it was.
Really? Blu-ray is not commonplace enough?
It's not. Are you being sarcastic?
No, I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being inquisitive. You doom-coughed.
Well, I'm
serious. You really think that Blu-ray is not common enough?
Okay.
I would have assumed it was.
In my house, I have 9 Blu-ray players. Okay. Not
well,
not just players. I mean, like part of my computer, portable ones. I have.
I would think it'd be like standard thing on every new computer that there be at least some Blu-ray compatibility.
It's still not standard, even though you could buy a drive for $50. They're cheap.
Mostly the Sony laptops.
No, even then it's still optional.
Really?
Yes, mine was an additional $20 upgrade. It didn't come with it standard. So I'm saying is that maybe, as you're saying, yes, digital distribution, but I still believe in the physical format because it is a faster delivery platform. Now, what Sony was showing off with the PlayStation 4, that whole, hey, within minutes you're able to start playing. If Steam can get to that point, which they've tried it, they have the feature where, you know, if you try to play, it tries to download the bare necessities, but still, it's just not good enough. StarCraft 2 gets it right, where within 10 minutes you could start playing, and then as you're playing levels, it will just, in the background, download more of the game files. You know, I hope that's the future where we're going to start heading towards that, but you also have to remember the BioShock Infinite for PC has 3 times the textures of the PlayStation 3 and 360 versions.
The one problem with that, even though I am always pro digital distribution, is the fact that the infrastructure of the United States doesn't really allow for it. Everyone can't have, you know, fiber optic to their house.
I do.
It's unfortunate.
Haha.
I know. We get it, John. You're special. You get
you.
the medal. And you get the little propeller hat. The main thing is that the majority of us can't get, you know, that level of service for internet service providing, and it's just
Google Fiber.
Oh my God, I would
want
move
that.
to the ass end of the world just for Google Fiber. That is just brilliant. It's free if you just want basic internet that you're paying for right now. But if you want to put down the $300, dude, it's
it
nerdgasm.
blows. It makes Verizon Fios look like dial-up.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, the ass end of nowhere. But it's the only place that you can actually enjoy the internet since there's no, you know, there's no limit. There's no sieve on the pipe. There's no. It's just pure, unadulterated bukkake of information and
whoa, buddy.
That's the best way to describe it. When you're talking about a service like Google Fiber, it's a pure, unadulterated bukkake of information directly from the heart of the internet. It's just it's everywhere. You're just covered in it.
It's basically you're being connected to the artery of the internet.
Yeah.
They're
mainlining internet.
And
they're
it's
spraying
such
internet all over the place.
Like
exactly.
AIDS.
So naturally, for the Asian community, it was brilliant. But Tish, that's your horrible joke of the day. Continue.
Right.
Well, yeah. Have you heard about Metal Gear Solid 5?
Yeah,
The Phantom.
So right now at GDC, Konami announced Metal Gear Solid 5. Actually, remember that Phantom Pain trailer that was announced during the Spike TV Video Game Awards?
Yes.
I'm sorry, you said Spike TV. It's a reflex.
Yeah, I know. I didn't watch it either, but
it's all that Mountain Dew you've been downing.
Well, there was
Mountain Dew is the greatest soda ever.
There were several points that it might be Metal Gear Solid 5. Because the way in which the title at the end was the letters were broken up, it looked like it formed Metal Gear Solid 5. So, and plus there was like a lot of things in the trailer that like it looked like Metal Gear Solid 5. Like one of the characters looks like Volgin, one of the characters looked like Psycho Mantis. So, like, it was thought to be that. Well, it turned out that it actually is Metal Gear Solid 5.
Okay.
Now, it takes place within the narrative of the series, I have no freaking clue.
Okay. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to raise my hand here. Not being, a Konami initiative, not being a Metal Gear Solid fan. Do Metal Gear Solid fans actually care?
I don't.
I kind of do, but at the same time, like...
I mean, you can understand why I'm asking the question at this point. Do people actually give a shit?
I like the story of Metal Gear Solid up until Metal Gear Solid 4. That's where I'm just like, okay, fuck this game.
Look, okay, Metal Gear Solid 4, the story was okay. My problem is, it's not enough for me to buy a PlayStation 4.
Actually, it wasn't announced for the PlayStation 4.
What was it announced for?
360 and PS3.
Really?
Yeah.
So they're going to have to release it by the end of this year because, well, next year we're going to start seeing the rollout of the new systems.
Yeah. It's kind of weird because there's all these new games coming out that look really good, and yet they're still coming out for the PS3 and 360.
And actually, John, I'm going to say that this may not be the thing that makes you want to buy a PS4. Destiny will make you want to buy a PS4. What they're trying to pull off with that? It's the next project from Bungie Studios.
Is it a first-person shooter or what? Like, I couldn't get that from
That's the thing. It's they haven't released any actual in-game footage, but what they
Yeah,
released when
it
they were
looks
giving
like it's
out.
just honestly, and I'm not. This isn't a
No, you go ahead.
game, but it just looks like a bunch of cloud paintings. Like,
Yeah,
that's all
the
I've
thing
seen.
is that the reason that they're giving out cloud paintings and such is because they've worked on a naturally evolving climate system that takes place in the background of the game. Because it turns out that the entire planet Earth is explorable. At least that's what they're hinting at. Not only is the entire planet Earth like something that you can walk from one side to the other, but it's like multiple different parts in the solar system are also explorable.
Ah,
And the thing is that they're saying it's a first person shooter, but it's not a first person shooter. But it may be an MMORPG without being an MMORPG, and it's a non-subscription based service. And what they were trying to describe as their system is kind of like a persistent first person shooter map that's the size of a planet that anyone can join at any time.
Also known as Section 8.
Yeah, but the thing is that this is live and it's connected to a whole bunch of other like media formats. So it could be connected to Facebook updates and stuff like that. Like, unfortunately, Web 2.0 stuff. But yeah, you're talking about something that is interconnected with every single part of everything. And so it becomes like an MMORPG experience without the whole MMORPG spiel. And it's a first-person shooter in itself. Like, it's a first-person shooter just like Bungie usually does. But this time it's quote-unquote magic and guns and sci-fi and hover bikes and giant floating space spheres, but all of this in a universe that is persistent. So it's kind of like daunting, and if they pull it off as they're describing it, it may be one of the most pivotal and advanced game experiences we may see in our generation. But I don't know. If it doesn't pull off, this may be the end of Bungie because they're kind of putting all of their eggs in one basket. And no, not EA, I'm sorry, Activision is they didn't buy Bungie, but they made a 10-year for this game specifically a 10-year contract for publishing rights.
They probably fucked themselves up right there.
No, if they fuck themselves up, they fuck themselves up good. But if they pull it off, and I have a lot of hope in Bungie, even though but I still have a lot of hope in Bungie because they usually know what the hell they're doing. If they're able to pull off an experience, a video game experience that is for 10 years of publishing, that's insane.
Yeah,
no other video game company has ever thought of the idea of coming up with an experience that spans 10 years.
that's crazy.
Sony did. PlayStation 3.
Yeah. No. We're not going to talk about that.
Okay. But hey, I mean, if that's the case, if the game is going to be released on the PS3, I'll probably check it out. Not for $60. I'll probably buy it used later on. But as I'm saying, it's not a killer app anymore like it used to be, and I think it goes hand in hand. I correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I think that the failure of Sony also impacts its franchises. If the hardware is known to be this, desert wasteland of nothing, your franchises are going to suffer as well. I honestly lost interest in Metal Gear Solid due to Metal Gear Solid 4. I think...
I'm sorry. I'm a grown-up. Instead of Metal Gear Solid, I was more of a Sam Fisher fan myself. But I can understand why people are starting to become disenfranchised simply because, well, the translation and the fact that they're not giving a shit about story at this point is from what I'm getting at from an outside perspective. Now, Kevin, you're far more well-versed in the Metal Gear Solid universe, but can you not give me a point that at this stage people just really can't find themselves giving a crap about this story?
The problem is that they try to cram so much into the last game. I think that was the real problem with Metal Gear Solid 4. Was that because it just felt like they were trying to quickly wrap everything up.
Well, not only that, it was just not enough gameplay.
Yeah, it was...
It really wasn't.
Really? It was what? 50% gameplay, 50% cutscenes?
Exactly. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. It had one of the most epic fucking parts, especially when, you're finally piloting a Metal Gear. You know,
And you
something
see, that was my favorite part of that game.
Oh, exactly. My favorite part was when
revisiting Shadow Moses.
Yes. I love the part when he's like, Snake, you need to look for the disc 2 and put that in. He's like, wait, there is no disc 2. Oh, that's right. We're on Blu-ray. That was the best part.
But like it was that, to me, that was fun. That was awesome. Just seeing that. But yeah, like Metal Gear Solid 4, it just wasn't that good. It tried too much.
But the graphics, oh my god!
It felt more like an action game than an actual stealth game. You know, I think that's the real problem with it, was that it got to the point where you're, instead of being in like a stealth situation, you're on a battlefield. In the first part of that game, you're in the middle of a war.
True.
Although I can argue that there's still, like, at that part of the game, beginning part, even if it was a war, it did reinforce the whole stealth aspect, since you had to move around without engaging.
I understand that, but you could either join each side. That was the thing.
True.
Either way, I only say this simply because when you get to a game that, like you said before yourself, 50% cutscene, 50% gameplay, like, what can you expect from a NET's game? Like 90% cutscene, 10% gameplay, or just have it all
think about anything
events?
that David Cage makes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or just nothing but QuickTime events.
Remember what John? You remember what I've said about
QuickTime emotions?
You know what I've said about.
Going. I'm just gonna keep saying, eat a dick, dude.
I once said in a previous episode of this podcast, I once said that Heavy Rain was a next-gen Sega CD game that had the same depth and complexity as fucking Night Trap.
Oh my god.
It did!
You guys, let it go.
I'm starting.
No, I don't agree with you, Kevin, but still, just let it freaking go.
Hey, John brought it up.
Yes, I did.
John brought it up. Okay? If you're gonna bring it up, I'm gonna say it.
I'm not defending Quantic Dream, but I'm pissed off at people throwing rocks in the calm blue ocean simply because we can. Yes, the games weren't great. Get over it.
Oh,
at
as
least
long
they're
as
trying
you
something
admit it,
different.
that's all I wanted.
Admit what?
I wanted you to admit that the games weren't that good.
I think the games were great. They didn't sell well, so obviously they weren't great for the rest of the freaking public that wanted to buy it, but I think they were an interesting, introspective, fucking trip into what can be considered and can't be considered a video game. I liked them. And it doesn't matter whether they did make money or not. I fucking love the whole exploratory version of it, of just, what they can pull off and what they can't pull off.
Okay. That's all I can say.
Once again, I'm just going to retort to my usual answer. Eat a dick, John. Eat fat cock.
Somebody's testy.
Get it, testes. Anyway, going back on subject, yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5. I'm still not sure.
I'm guessing I'm not a fan, but I'm guessing you as a fan were kind of disappointed by the last game. At the same time, you got to have a lot of experience, but do you feel disappointed?
Yeah, actually I was, because it felt like it was, like I said, it felt like it was trying to just tie everything up at the last minute. It was like the ending of Lost.
Yeah, the ending of Lost sucked.
Remember how they were trying to just tie everything up and they couldn't figure out how to end it?
That was the most
thankfully, I never fell into the whole Lost thing.
Okay,
but
look,
yeah, I can understand.
Basically, it's like this: Lost.
Yeah,
was
everyone's in
extremely
purgatory.
good,
yeah.
And then they fucking trip and stumble, snowball effect. Everything that they even bothered working towards was just shit.
No explanation of anything in that series.
They left so many unanswered questions.
But that's what I felt with Metal Gear Solid 4, was that it tried to just tie everything up, and it completely fell on his ass. It wasn't that good. I mean, and like I said, going back to the cutscenes, I mean, they were friggin' long. I mean, the last cutscene is over an hour long.
Jesus, really? I didn't even know that.
No,
bad.
I'm serious. The last cutscene of Metal Gear Solid 4 is an hour long.
The long one, the one that like made me almost fall asleep, was the cutscene that you discover who Snake's mother was.
Yeah.
Remember towards the middle of the game?
Yeah.
That was fucking ridiculous.
Oh my god. It took for friggin'
The worst mission in that entire game was the one where you had to trail that guy.
and you had to follow the whistling and
That was so fucking boring. It just takes you from all this intense action and says, here, just walk around in London, but you can't be seen, and you have to chase this guy to a hideout.
so that mission was boring. That just yeah.
So clearly we hate the game.
It's just it could have been better. Like they just sort of cut out a lot of shit in that game. So
Oh, I've been playing Luigi's Mansion, the Dark Moon.
yeah,
It is good.
really
Really?
Yes, it is good. It's far better than the original.
wow.
Huh.
I gotta buy that.
Oh yeah.
Well, you guys go right ahead.
So
I already
anything
bought it,
else?
so what are you talking about? You like, go ahead.
I have nothing to add. I'm saying go ahead.
Dude,
Calm
are you
yourself.
deprived of your Nintendo fix?
Not really, no. I haven't needed a Nintendo Fix after the Wii. I'm sorry.
Dude,
That
I
was
have
like
my
the
Wii
worst.
U right
you
now,
just-
right next to me.
For
Well,
me,
actually,
the Wii
it's-
was a cold turkey experience. Like after finishing Zelda, it was like, yeah, no, I'm sorry, that's it, game over.
Which Zelda?
Actually,
Twilight Princess.
it's funny you mention Nintendo
I
because
played that on the GameCube, not the Wii.
Which one
it's
was
funny-
the Wii?
No, the Wii had two Zeldas, but the GameCube also had Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess was on both Wii and GameCube.
No, but I only played it on the Wii. I never got it for the GameCube.
it was
I played it on the GameCube.
Twilight Princess was originally going to be a GameCube exclusive, and then they moved it over to the Wii. And literally, it is a mirrored version of the GameCube.
Huh.
Because like everything that's on like the right in the game is actually on the left in the GameCube. Like I'm not kidding. They just mirrored it.
Gnarly.
But speaking of Nintendo and GDC, they actually had they had sort of a press conference going on. They were talking with indie developers because it seems that they're trying to lay the groundwork for indie support.
Really?
About fucking time.
Because they had a panel called Nintendo Wii U Application Development with HTML and JavaScript.
What?
Yeah, apparently the Wii U can support HTML and JavaScript.
Huh.
And they're trying to not push, but they're trying to get developer support from that.
Well, good luck.
So
It's like throwing a life preserver to a drowning man. There's kind of a 50% chance.
well, let's see.
All I'm saying is I'm
Well,
looking
they
forward to
unveiled
Nintendo E3.
They unveiled a streamlined partnering process whereby developers complete an agreement with Nintendo, get a development unit at no charge, and even set their own release date and prices.
You know,
That's incredible.
Andy, what is your take on the word streamlining? Because it seems like companies these days, they use it for the wrong reasons. We're going to streamline your first-person shooters where you don't have to do shit.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but the current definition of streamline is more like, okay, let's make it so someone with cerebral palsy can play it.
Dumbed down, pretty much.
Yeah. Or usually just less of an experience, only to economize on the rest of the experience. I don't know.
AKA Call of Duty.
Remember how I think it was BioWare how they described Witcher 2. You press a button and something awesome happens. So button awesome.
Was that BioWare?
Yeah, that was BioWare. That's how they're describing their game.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's basically a glorified voice box.
There you go.
So. Awkward silence.
There's no awkward silence. We were just chilling.
Jalen?
Okay.
Just chilling.
So, what games are you guys playing other than BioShock Infinite
I'll tell you. You'll never guess.
and Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon?
Oh, well, how did you guess them? No, that's
Did we
honestly all what I've been playing is BioShock Infinite and Luigi's Mansion.
I actually went back. I actually went back to the original BioShock for a bit. Just playing that.
You finally got it to work.
Yes, actually, that reminds me. I never told you. I finally got it to work.
You did
For
tell
some
me.
reason, for some reason, the original BioShock is not compatible like with Windows 8. You need to set it into compatibility mode. It's
Damn.
weird, but like, yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, I had to go into the Steam files and go into Steam apps, the user comment, all that kind of stuff. And I had to literally go to the application, right-click it, hit compatibility mode, and then apply it, and it worked. Because like the problem I was having audio problems where it was like the game would start off, the audio was going fine, and then as soon as I hit start new game,
It froze up?
no, it was playing, but the audio wasn't playing.
Okay, yeah, that I understand. That actually happened with a bunch of games.
No. The issue was as follows. As soon as the plane crashes the water and you start to go up in the water, that's when the audio cuts out. When you get into the bathysphere, as soon as it pops up in Rapture, the enemy freezes up. That's the exact issue that yours had, yes.
Yeah, that's another...
No, because I'm talking about an issue that happened not only with that game, but games like Skyrim and such that literally the moment you started, either the sound doesn't work or the video doesn't work. And I think it had to do something with, like, I don't know, differing architecture? Or
I remember an age-old problem back in the day with BioShock and some other games where if you had certain NVIDIA drivers, everything that's red would be blue. So, like, the fire in the opening is blue fire.
Gnarly.
Good times. I am still looking out for Grand Theft Auto 5. I am extremely pumped for it.
Really?
I really haven't been following it. How does it look so far?
Oh, they released new screenshots. It looks sexy. It really does.
Oh, yeah, I saw those. They were on... unfortunately, I read them on Kotaku. Sorry. But yeah, I saw them on Kotaku.
But they have to announce a PC version. They have to.
Obviously, they're going to, because they've done it for pretty much every other game.
I know, but the thing is that they said that it's a negative on there for now. But the fact is this, you can't be showing off these wonderful, awesome, screenshots and then not release a PC version at launch. Because for me, it's like the PS3 and 360 have absolutely no chance of ever rendering it at that quality.
Actually, you know what? That reminds me. Going back to Metal Gear Solid 5,
yes.
the footage that they showed in the trailers was not actually running on the PS3 and 360. That's running on PC.
They're going to release a PC version?
No, I don't know. But, I mean, they only announced it for the 360 and PS3.
Unfortunately, at this point, it'd be nothing but blind speculation unless, they say something. And to top it off, speaking of Metal Gear Solid, this is something we spoke about before, but I wanted to get your review on it. The voice actor for Snake was not contacted.
Yeah.
Why do you think?
I don't know.
They realize it's shit.
Okay, that's too simple of an answer. Come on, stop being such plebeians.
No, David Hayter was always a good voice actor.
I didn't. Where did I say he was the problem? I said the game is shit. I didn't say the voice actor is shit.
Do you think he wasn't contacted because he, had some sort of scuffle with the game makers, like Kojima?
Could be something that interesting. Is there some type of backstory we're not getting, or
I know
just
what the
that they're
backstory
not planning for it?
I know the backstory. After he read the script, he realized what a piece of shit Metal Gear Solid 4 was, and he said, "Fuck you all."
Oh man. Oh, so yeah, Sony shares further details about the PS4 at GDC. You guys saw that?
Oh yeah.
So,
we still don't have a console.
My arm is not large enough for the jerk-off motion that is in my soul.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
you
sorry,
weren't.
I don't see anything interesting here at all.
It's still nothing. I mean, they're showing off the stupid controller, which really it's going to be redesigned. You can't tell me that's going to be the final thing. It reminds me of the boomerang controller of the
You know what?
PS3.
It looks like a third-party controller, like made by like Mad Cats or something like that.
Or Logitech. Yeah, it looks.
Yeah,
No, no,
it
no.
looks
Logitech
like
controllers, they were good.
Logitech controllers are awesome. I'm not saying that the controller
Mad
is not
Cats, the
awesome.
fucking stick would crack while you're in the middle of the game.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking horrible. But anyway, no, I'm talking about the specs of the system itself, the supposed system, where PS4 shader language is similar to HLSL and allows for features for, this is in bold, beyond DirectX 11 and OpenGL4, which, I'm sorry, but isn't everything at this point?
But you also have to realize that the PlayStation 3 does not, I mean, PlayStation 3 or 4, whatever, does not run DirectX 11. What they fail to understand is that DirectX is an API that's on Windows-based computers. So when you're running it on a console, it's not running DirectX. It's impossible. Microsoft owns the APIs. It's a program. It's an interface that you can, a communication layer between hardware and software.
and
That's
I'm
all
pretty
it
sure
is.
Sony wouldn't want to.
Sony has its own proprietary, way. I mean, a lot of times they use OpenGL, which I'm pretty sure they use it. But you have to
Womp,
understand
womp.
that when someone says, "Oh, it's going to look like DirectX 11," it's like, well, DirectX 11 isn't what makes it look like that. That just opens up the programming language, the ability to make it look like that.
See, I find it funny how a lot of gamers are hyped up about the RAM on the console
It's got 8 giggies.
without actually realizing what RAM does in a computer.
Oh yeah, they're fucking stupid. They're
Because
like, oh
I
look,
see
it's the
people like, oh,
fastest.
it has 8 gigs of RAM. That means the graphics are going to be amazing.
It does, since we're talking about a system that is purely for graphics and gaming, it does give developers a lot more leeway. But it's not something that should be applauded. I mean, they're still close to like 1 to 2 generations behind PC.
Exactly. I've always said
worked on PCs that have 32 gigs of RAM at basic.
My office computer. Oh,
Well,
Oh,
yeah, servers
shit.
are running on this as a basic, and these are things that,
fuck that! I
Well-
built a server last week that has 128 gigs of RAM.
there you go.
Wow,
I mean,
it's all about the giggies.
the giggies. Oh my god.
I just built a server with 24 2 terabyte hard drives.
You are still talking the nonsense, my friend.
Open Solaris, bitch.
By the way, yes, folks, You're Talking the Nonsense is our new meme, or one of our new memes. Thankfully provided by one of our faithful viewers. Thank you.
Yes.
We're talking. Oh,
We
yeah, that.
seriously need to start a tech podcast, Andy. No offense, Kevin,
think-
but I mean, I get
I'm-
as giddy as a
No, you see-
schoolgirl talking about hardware.
You see, now I don't take offense because I'm going to be honest. I'm not a techie. I know
But you
I'm
can
not.
understand the wonders of like hardware. I mean, we're
But
talking about
You see, I'm not a techie, but I do understand some things about PC, about computers.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
I know more than the average person.
What I
but,
am actually very.
but I don't know more than you guys. You guys just like, you guys.
he's like Yogi, smarter than the average bear.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I am extremely excited about. I mean, some people are shooting it down, saying, "Oh, you don't need eight cores." I mean, what I am curious as to is this going to open up the floodgates for developers to be enticed to program from more than fucking 2 cores. I look at BioShock Infinite running on my rig. It actually does touch all 8 of my logical cores, but
Delicious core molesty.
hell yeah. But if you look at games like like even the original BioShock, it only touched 2 cores max. StarCraft 2 only plays with 2 cores max. So I'm thinking that if the PlayStation 4, since it will have an 8-core processor, if Microsoft releases their next console with 8 cores, I mean, the only thing I'm looking forward is seeing my i7 finally start to flex its muscles. I want to see these games take advantage of the fact that I have 8 logical cores.
Yeah. I'm guessing it doesn't have a lot of call for on the market because the average PC owner isn't capable of having that much horsepower under their belt.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We've seen a growing trend towards quad-core processors. They're
Yeah.
actually outselling now. They're outselling dual-core. But the fact is that it's, as they say, would you rather have two people lifting a heavy shelf or you would rather have four people lifting a heavy shelf? The fact is that part of the problem is your architecture. I mean, if your architecture and clock speed can only be a certain amount, then you really need those additional cores to distribute the workload, because 2 cores running at max load may not be as fast as 4 cores running at 50% each. It's one of those things where you can get a lot more done because you have additional, people to distribute the work to. And that's the problem, is that what happens is the PC gamer, and this is why I hate AMD, and I'm going to explain this, is that their architecture isn't that efficient. So yes, they need more cores to do what an i3 can do with dual core. So the problem is that if you buy a budget processor, and you have multiple cores, but the games do not take advantage of those additional cores, then you basically shot yourself in the foot. Because the game is only taking advantage of 2 cores instead of the 8. And if your selling point is, well, our processor's faster because it has more cores, then you're fucked.
I'm biting my tongue. I agree with you on some parts, disagree heavily on others. But, instead of turning this into a tirade about the differences of technology, let's go back to the PlayStation 4.
Well, this wraps completely around the PlayStation 4, though. Because it is the birth of a next generation for consoles. Welcome to 2008, people. It just, it starts to really matter because, I like these giant shifts in technology. Because now, everything that we took for granted on PCs is finally going to start being used. Yeah.
Well, just now starting to be realized on some console systems that are still going to be selling for the same price.
And you look at
huge like gamer systems.
You look at on my GTX 690, and this is something where some people are like, "Oh, you gotta get a Titan, you gotta get a Titan." In the past few years, we've seen SLI heavily supported, where they're optimizing the shit out of it. Where we're as close as we can get right now to 2 times the performance. Basically, people thought, well, if I had 2 680s, add the performance of each together, and that's what I'm gonna get.
As great as SLI is, I don't understand why it was adopted so quickly. Is it because of the architecture? Is it because of a simplicity of use issue? Or
are you talking about CUDA or SLI? Because
SLI, why did it explode? Because yes, I agree, there's a lot more support for it now.
Of course. Well, it's also the cheaper alternative. I mean, it's cheaper to buy 2 680s than it is to buy a single Titan. It's cheaper to buy.
Everything's cheaper than buying a Titan, dude.
Well, but look at it this way: like, you could buy 2 660s, and it will be faster than a 680, and it would be cheaper than a 680.
Yeah.
But the problem, and this is what was a problem for a while, is that SLI was very buggy. So one game would be blazing fast on SLI, another game will actually be slower on SLI. And I mean, that's the other issue. I could throw a second 690 in my rig, and that would be a quad SLI setup, but the performance will not be any better than what I'm currently getting out of it because of how we're just not at that point where we can distribute the workload amongst multiple GPUs and CPUs, which is what I want to see in the future. I want to see, developers taking full advantage of this awesome hardware that we have. Where to the point where, believe it or not, I'm pretty sure my graphics card could render graphics equivalent to a Pixar movie. I believe it can. It just needs to be realized. It needs to be taken advantage of. That's one thing that consoles have always had over PC. They use every fucking ounce of power that those consoles offer. And it's thing that they never do.
It's the type of media. I mean, that's why consoles are always, the consoles are the self-proclaimed platforms of pure gaming simply because of the fact that they're able to use every single, like, squeeze every ounce of performance out of whatever hardware they put in. And I mean, and from that you can draw the pseudo excitement of why having slightly larger architecture, more RAM on a system like the PS4 or a PS5 or whatever the fuck it is at this point is drawing a lot of attention. But at the same time, when you look at it from the perspective of someone who has been in PC gaming, of course it's going to be a letdown. So I don't know. This entire argument is rendered moot simply because of the fact that, you know, the hardware specs for the PlayStation 4 is just not as interesting as what most of the people who have PCs have at this day and age. And what most people have in this PCs in this day and age can outright outperform anything that is going to come out of the market from any of these companies within the next 10 years.
Well, and that's the thing. It was a different story back when the PlayStation 3 came out, because it was actually using a leading, modified GTX 7990 or 7980, whatever the fuck it was, or 7900.
Yeah.
7900. So it actually, at the time when it came out, it was as good as the best gaming rigs out there.
Heck, people had to come up with a special form of Linux just to be able to put an operating system on it. Did you ever use Yellow Dog Linux?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I got pissed off when they ended support for that. That was the worst possible move they could have done. But that kind of gave you the whole fact of, yeah, this could actually be something more than just a console.
But a year later, the 8000 series came out from NVIDIA and introduced DirectX 10 support, which had hardware acceleration for fog effects, for advanced shaders, advanced lighting, things that, the PlayStation 4 is just about to experience for the very first time we've had since 2007. So
we went on a hardware rant. We got to cut
it. Hey, I could go all day long.
I know, and I could probably argue with you about it and be pissed off by the end of it anyway. Let's go to, how about EA's DRM failure? Well, continuous DRM failure.
What's more to say? It's shit. They pissed off people. They lied to people. What else can we add?
Well, in this case, they're claiming that they're officially saying that DRM is a failed dead-end strategy.
Really? They finally woke up and smelled the roses.
Sven is bleeding from the head. I'm sorry.
Yes. Should we take the carrots? Hell yes, you take the carrots. What kind of shit question is that?
Who's that? Anyway. But yes, finally, even EA is admitting the fact that DRM has failed. And from a, logistical perspective, DRM is the worst possible thing you could ever try to do. More exclusivity to a product that you're trying to get out there is just going to make it harder for you to sell the product. Pirating is part of the internet. It's part of our culture. And there's absolutely nothing any company can ever do.
Exactly. People photocopy books. They copy CDs. You can't say, hey, our medium is special. It can't be touched.
Yeah, no.
All bets are off the moment you release it.
The moment it's out in the wild, you need to understand the fact that the only money you're ever going to make is on launch. After that, it's just going to be trickle-down economics.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think part of it also is that they dig their own hole. I mean, you look at Call of Duty Black Ops 2. It's still $60. Game came out in November.
Yeah.
It should have dropped by now. But they won't, because they're money-grubbing whores.
Well, anyway, my only idea of the whole DRM thing is that these companies are still in the dark ages and trying to enforce DRM and trying to find ways of protecting their investments. We were talking about this before the show, and I just wanted to point out there's a Paradox Development Studios. They're a developer for a game called Europa Universalis and a whole bunch of a plethora of other games that take along the same universe, and you can interplay with your save file between each game. Main thing is that they are a developer, which is a kind of a new thing that's happening with a lot of newer developers, where they have no DRM in their game. And so what they do is that they release it, and they try to make money off it. And what happens is that they don't care if you pirate. Because when you look at it pragmatically, pirating is the best way to get your game out there. If your game is good, people are going to pirate it. If people are going to pirate it, they're going to play it. And if they play it, some of the gamers are actually going to pay for it. In fact, a majority of the gamers usually pay for it.
Well, that's because it's out of guilt. I mean, I feel more guilty pirating from
it's
an
not
indie.
even guilt. It's the fact that you see something that you like and they're doing it and they don't care about stopping piracy. Naturally, it's like reverse psychology.
So
they're not asking for money,
good behavior,
but you're going to fucking reward it because, dude, it's a great fucking experience. Yeah. For example, Kerbal Space Program. And yes, I'm bringing this back to Kerbal Space Program. It's been in alpha for like ever. And the builds have been available, and you can pay for access to the alpha, which, by the way, Kerbal Space Program 0.19 is now available on Steam. Definitely suggest you guys get it. But it's always been available out there without DRM. The updates, you would have to just download a new update from a pirated site, et cetera, et cetera. But never any DRM. It is now such a great, heavily modded, like community-based game that I think the depth and the breadth of just everything that they've done with this game outranks even some of the AAA titles. And that's what happens when people stop trying to use pirating as an excuse for loss of money and more as a methodology for advancing the game itself and the game experience itself. That's when you get like memorable shit. That's when you start getting like games that are built by the community. And I don't know, it just seems stupid to keep seeing piracy as the universal linchpin of why, we need to have Big Brother in our video games. Well, DRM has failed. It's always going to fail.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like this, like
basically a utopia.
You know what I mean?
Oh, dystopia.
Yeah. The
thing with piracy is it isn't about like just trying to get a game for free. It's about service. If you're delivering a shitty service, people are not going to buy your game, But
that's true.
If you deliver something if you deliver a better service than the pirates, people are going to buy your game.
Which, Andy, just a disclaimer, that's exactly what your favorite fantastic friend from Destructoid said, Jim Sterling.
Well, I'm thinking
You're just quoting him.
I'm not quoting him.
Okay, dude.
I'm saying look at Valve, for example. Okay. This is the fact that not only when do you buy their games, do they allow you to play for free, but the fact that they say, hey, you like the game? Here's the SDK. Here's the ability to download user-made maps. Extra service. That is the key word here. Anyone?
Yeah.
Well, Origin sucks ass. I refuse to buy games because of Origin. If BioShock Infinite was on Origin, I probably wouldn't have bought it.
I don't know. It's just too big of an issue because there's always going to be a group of people, and they're going to be adamant, and they're going to be well-funded, who are always going to talk down to the whole idea of piracy. And let's face it, folks, everyone who's listening to this podcast, everyone who's involved with this podcast, and everyone on YouTube at this point has pirated in their life at minimum 10 times. Whether it be a CD, whether it be a movie, whether it be a video game. And the thing is that, do you think it really affects the economy in such a negative fashion when you see a movie and think, hey, this would be even fucking better if I saw it in theaters? Or, hey, you know what, I should buy the CD because these guys fucking deserve the money. Or, hey, I'm going to get the game because I'm tired of having to use the special loader and I want to play online.
Okay, well that's how it was for me. Like I pirated BioShock 2. Well, luckily I did because it was shit. But the original BioShock I paid $20 for. I didn't buy it on release. But because I had such a good experience with the original BioShock, I was like, I had to get BioShock Infinite day one, and I was willing to pay the full price. Look at Grand Theft Auto 4. I pirated Grand Theft Auto 4. I have yet to buy it. But since I had such a good time with it, Grand Theft Auto 5, if it's on PC, I will buy it day of launch for full retail price.
And it's dozens of stories like that, and I still don't understand why no one wants to give up the gun and agree that, hey, piracy is part of the marketplace. Instead of alienating it, we should make it part of the market.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know. It brings back to the whole idea of, instead of like focusing on developers versus customers, have the customers be part of the process. Like, for example, there's a game called Starbound. Have any of you guys ever played Terraria?
No.
I've heard of it.
It's like a 2D version of Minecraft.
Yeah, I've seen the trailers for it on Steam. It actually looks really cool.
Now, unfortunately, they stopped support for it. There's no more development for it. But the guys that were involved with Terraria are now on a project called Starbound. Now, it's a 2D game, like Terraria, like Minecraft, but it's basically you have a space station, your planet exploded, you go to different planets. The entire engine and encounters are all random, so no playthrough will ever be the same ever. And you have dynamic planet creation, dynamic creature creation. It's if you guys check it out, play starbound.com. This is like the new modus operandi for projects where people are asking as they are developing the game, the community, what you want. And they're eventually going to release alpha and beta builds. And it's just, I don't know. We've gotten to the point that the developers can talk directly to the consumers. And the whole idea of a publisher becomes moot at this point.
I can't wait to see the day that publishers die.
And if you think about it, I think that's what DRM and all that kind of crap is like it's these publishers trying to hold on to their power, if you think about it.
That's true.
They're trying to, because they don't want to be the unnecessary middleman. They want everyone to think that in order to get their games out, they have to go through them.
Yeah.
They want people to think that, but in reality, developers are going more towards an independent model. Okay?
And once again, that's why indie gaming will save gaming.
To compare, honestly, I would compare the video game industry right now to where the film industry was in the 50s and 60s, where you had you guys know about film history?
Yes, the studio system, because you told me the history.
Okay.
Well, tell us.
Okay.
No.
For basically the first 50 years of film history, the studios ran every aspect of filmmaking. From who was producing it, to who was directing it, to screenwriting, acting, everything was controlled by the studios. Even the distribution was controlled by the studios. Well, by around the 50s and 60s, it started to fall apart. Filmmakers started going more towards independent releases, and thus filmmakers who had a rough time dealing with the studio system were able to get into the studios and change the whole system. Okay, this is when you start seeing the rise of people like Stanley Kubrick and Francis Ford Coppola.
Never heard of him.
What?
Yes.
John, you better shut your mouth right now before I slap you.
No. Is this like a troll, or did you seriously not know who Francis Coppola is?
Nope.
Apocalypse Now?
Never seen it.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
As I said, to me, things like that are absolutely not interesting at all. I don't.
So
honestly,
you're not a fan of film or such?
My problem is that I don't give a shit about who actually made said content. I only care about the content that I'm consuming.
Okay, that's understandable, but I mean, this is like, that's what back then was considered video gaming. It was for them back then. Movies were what video games are to us. It was just a passing fancy. But these are the people that elevated it to an art form that is now considered one of the most influential forms of media next to video gaming there is in the world. Like Francis Kubrick, man, 2001: Space Odyssey. That's just
never seen it.
2001: Space Odyssey.
What?
Strangelove.
What the? You're
whoa,
trolling.
Whoa.
I'm not trolling. I've never seen it.
How are you alive in 2013 and never seen 2001: Space Odyssey? That's like someone saying
never bothered to see it.
That's like someone saying that they never saw the original trilogy of Star Wars.
John, have you seen The Shining?
No.
Oh,
what? Okay, I'm sorry, but this is what we're going to have to do. And you know what? We may have to stream this. We're going to have to sit you down with some beer and some munchies, and we're going to have to force you to watch some of these films, because this is like mind-fuckery, life-changing film.
So I'm assuming you've never seen A Clockwork Orange.
Well, I've seen bits and pieces, because Mr. Pirate Extraordinaire over here used to stream it on live stream.
Oh yeah, back in the days of what was the name?
It was something with an M.
I know we had the
ZPTV.
ZPTV,
Oh,
yes.
hell
It is
yeah.
ZPTV.
But we use it on Mogulus.
Back then it was called Mogulus, and then it turned into Livestream. Okay, here's the backstory, folks. Back in the olden days, what you know as Livestream was originally called Mogulus in the first year that it came out, and so it was this huge thing because no one had ever come up with a platform that was universally allowing people to stream. And so what I had started was in like a period of 6 months, I had uploaded over half a terabyte of shows, movies, music, the works. And this was all selected by me and a group of other people. We worked around the clock around the world. And so what we had was a programming system where we would play random YouTube bits during the day, and then right at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard, every single weekday and weekends, we would play a different set of programs. And so we did stuff like Torchwood, first season of Sherlock.
I remember you did Final Fantasy VII Advent Children.
Yes, that was not popular.
Then you played some like weird Japanese game commercials.
Yes, the old...
don't laugh. The don't laugh thing. Remember?
Yes.
Don't laugh.
Yes, but Satsino,
If you don't laugh, if you laugh, you get your ass whacked.
Yeah, that's still going on, by the way, and we still like watch it every now and then. But yeah, and we used to just put up random stuff that we found on the internet and different stuff that people pirated, and it was like a pirate television network. Unfortunately, eventually we got caught. The thing got shut down, but yeah, it was a hell of a thing. ZBTV. We even have somebody who made an anime trope meme for us, and someone else who made a cat meme for us. So we became popular.
Okay, here we go. This is, I'm going to actually play it because I want this to be on the show, but this is something that Andy is the reason why we know this exists, and I can never get it out of my head.
Oh boy. Oh my god, yes.
Yes! Yes!
Now, I don't know if you could actually put the video up in the video.
I'm actually thinking I'm going to do that.
You need to put up the video. Okay, for the listeners who just heard it, or if you watched it. Yes, that link, this is an entire Famicom commercial for Zelda. This is back in the olden days.
I think it's a link to the past.
Yes, it's old. And so what happens is that the link is played by a girl. And and it's the voice of Zelda just, oh god, that haunts me. Because you see this, like, you know, quintessential Asian girl, but then you hear like the raggedy old woman voice. But yeah, if you watch the commercial, if you can actually put up the video, you'll understand why this, you know, it gets stuck in your head very easily.
Oh yeah, it's kind of nostalgic too.
Yeah.
The Japanese always had like the best video game commercials.
Well, yeah, because for them it was their.
Have you ever
back
seen
in the time that was their industry? It was their thing.
You ever see the Sega to Sanshiro commercials?
Yeah.
Yes.
The Sega Saturn?
Yes.
Those are so friggin' awesome.
They're hilarious.
Like, especially the Bomberman one. He just picks up a guy, he throws him, the guy hits the ground and explodes.
Nice. So now getting back to ZPTV, but yeah, I mean, there's a very long history with other attempts of trying to create a medium for us to express our enjoyments, and you know, it's only now that it actually works.
Yeah.
How many times did we try to fire up a podcast?
The point I was also trying to make before,
yes,
was that right now the video game industry is mimicking the film industry. Right
You
now,
make that actually is a pretty good point, and I hadn't
Yeah.
thought about it in those terms. But you're onto something, Kevin, because it
we
actually makes sense.
we are seeing
Since
what we are seeing right now is the death of a publisher system. We are seeing because again, publishers are now seen as unnecessary middlemen. Why would you why would you sell your game through a publisher when you can just sell your game like directly to the player?
yeah,
You know, and it's not just video games. We're seeing this with music. We're seeing this with film. You know, where someone can make a movie, put it on a DVD, and sell it directly to the watcher. You have people who write full albums, record them, and then sell them, directly to the listener over the internet.
Yep.
see, the thing is that we're living in an age where the whole distribution method, which was the power of the publisher, no longer exists thanks to something like the internet.
Yeah.
But for now, we're still going to need publishers because, well, they're going to fight for their survival. But in a couple of years, I think we will be living in an era where the developer is just going to be the end man.
Where the developer has full control over their creation.
I mean, you're starting to see it with certain developers. For example, Valve jumping into the hardware fucking market. That's fucking brilliant. Can you imagine if developers start doing that? Not only controlling the software itself and how it sells, but controlling the hardware it's played on.
Huh.
Imagine being able to provide an experience that you control completely, monopolizing on the venue, the experience, and the price. Like back in the old days when
2.0.
Publishership 2.0, yeah. Think about it. They'd be able to, if they make this, the Steam Bots is being made. If they sell the Steam Bots and they make a game specifically for the Steam Bots, and the Steam Bots isn't going to be just a console. It's going to be a piece of hardware specifically chosen by the developer to run their system, their game, to the fullest possible extent. The best graphics, the best capabilities for AI, the fastest speed for multiplayer connectivity. I mean, just, imagine. Because developers are always hammed down by the limitations of whatever, system that they work on or whatever platform they're given. Imagine developers being able to choose how and for how much and for how long you enjoy something.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense because I know that one developer in particular would rather have 2 GTX 690s so he can show all the fucking emotions.
Oh my God, eat a dick, John.
Okay, now John, you're beating a dead horse.
You need $3,000 to check out our new game.
Eat a fat cock,
John,
Jack.
You know what? I don't like David Cage, and even then, I'm saying you're taking it a little too far.
It doesn't matter, but at this point, yes, think about it. Being able to choose that every single person that plays your game will be playing it on a system with 2 680s.
690s.
Oh yeah, 690s. Well, I'm talking about the price point here. Being able to choose like the trade-off between the price and, they would be able to make that choice. It wouldn't be a choice for the consumer. It wouldn't be a choice for the publisher. It wouldn't be a choice for whatever platform they're working for. It'd be purely developers providing an experience molded down to the smallest minutia detail by them.
So then you're basically saying it's like old school arcade cabinets.
Yes!
Where they controlled every aspect because the processor was part of the game.
Yeah, only this time it would actually be, mind-shattering experiences provided by developers who've already learned through the publisher system of...
The only question I could come up with is how the fuck could they make it economical?
How about a universally accepted methodology or like a platform that all develop? How about a platform built specifically by developers for developers? Not something built by Microsoft, not something built by Sony, but by a group of developers that choose to create a platform specific to their needs and that they would allow as much capability for any developer to join in.
Huh.
Think of the Steam bots, but instead of just being a Steam bot, think of it as, the box.
The ultimate game box.
Yes, an ultimate gaming system that has been, constrained down to something specifically for gaming that could be put in front of a television or in front of a monitor, and is built by chosen specifications of the developer.
That's
Also known as the Wii U.
Now you're even pushing it, John.
Oh, Mr. Nintendo fanboy is not a fanboy this week.
I'm not a fan. Look, I'm not.
Even Kevin's on my side, Jack. Damn.
No, because you know what? He actually raises, because Andy actually here raises a very good point. A console designed by the developers. Huh.
Just think of the possibilities.
It's like saying,
Also known
a
as-
pastel designed by the artiste.
Well, yeah.
Or a camera, or a movie theater
Designed
designed by the movie
photographer,
maker.
or a movie like fucking camera designed by a director or camera still operator. What happens when the people that create the media are given full freedom to all aspects of how that media is created? You get something that's, back in the old days of the arcade, it was fucking epic.
Yeah.
There were some games that were really, even to this day, are just freaking awesome.
Oh yeah.
And
Daytona, USA.
Fuck yeah. Smash TV.
And these are like experiences that we still hold to this day. And there wasn't like a universal constraint that they all. Just because the Famicom and other systems came into light to try to force everyone into one form factor that limited enough to be cheap enough to sell for houses, but at the same time powerful enough to give them some experience. I don't know. It's just
No, there was one universal constraint. Was the game fucking good?
back then. See, nowadays is whether it can run on this system or that system or whether it would sell.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We're getting to the age, like we said in the previous podcast. This is kind of the age of the end of consoles, and it's kind of almost the age of PC gaming as we know it as well. Whether we'd like to admit it or not, they're both converging to eventually just a universal device that will provide us every single form of media we want.
Cell phone.
No. Doesn't even we can't perceive it because it's not there yet. It's not here yet.
Well, people
It's
could say
something
the
we
same thing
can't-
about smartphones.
it-
No one
it's
thought we
something
were
that-
going to be able to have the internet in our pocket wherever we go.
Or, wear it in a pair of glasses or, on a watch or
It's something that we
It's-
cannot think of yet.
yeah, it's
It's
the
something we
problems
cannot-
of tomorrow today.
Hey, that's going to be the title of our episode. Tomorrow's Problems
way.
Today, Part 2.
Electric
Oh,
Boogaloo.
fuck you, Kevin.
Electric Boogaloo. Yes, you got to add Electric Boogaloo at the end
You
of
made me do that for Witch Hunt, video game Witch Hunt. He's
Why
a
not?
dick. But our podcast
Hug it out,
is,
bitches.
our podcast is getting very long, but we would like to make one announcement. And this is something that you two don't know about.
Uh-oh.
Episode 20 is around the corner. It's
Yay!
next week.
Womp womp.
Really? We're already at 20?
This is episode 19. Where have you been?
Well, I'm just like, I remember when we just hit episode 10.
I'm sorry, I've only been here for 3 episodes, so this is just to me, so.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a lot more episodes you've been on than any other podcast we've done.
This is the only podcast I've been on.
No, you were
Your
on
argument is moot.
you were on The Table, you were on Player's Choice, you were on
Oh, I remember those. Those were fun.
Yep, Around the Table with the Jock Techs.
Recorded horribly, but it was fun.
Oh yeah. It was like
But
my
anyway,
iPhone
what's
got
the
a
announcement,
bukkake.
Mass?
Those were the play and trade days.
The announcement is next week's episode is what we're going to be doing called the drunk episode.
Yay!
Oh, yes! You
Yeah,
were
why not?
telling me about this.
Right. Basically, we'll come up with the rule set. We'll announce what the rule set is next week. But ultimately, we're going to be taking shots, LITs, whatever you guys want. And we're going to get drunk while doing the show.
Are we going to be live streaming this, or?
I actually... Yeah, I can do it.
No, why not?
But you can't get drunk.
It's hard for me to get drunk. I've yet to get drunk. You want to, turn this into, like, how fast you could get me drunk? Yeah, sure, why not?
Fine.
Wouldn't be the first time someone wants to get into my pants.
How the fuck do you correlate that?
Obviously, you have not had much fun in your life, had you?
No, I haven't even seen those awesome movies you guys were talking about.
I know! What the hell is wrong with you? How can you go through life without having seen
Because
2001 Space
John has
Odyssey?
no culture. That's why.
No, it's not about culture. We need to sit you down, and we need to get you hooked on a few good films.
Oh yeah.
Do I get a beer
John,
drink
I'm
hat?
curious. Have you ever
Yeah.
seen Blade Runner?
Huh?
Have you ever seen Blade Runner?
Yes. Who hasn't?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. There is some salvation for this man. Because if you hadn't seen Blade Runner, I'm sorry, but that would have been the end of it. Cut the cord right there. There is no salvation for you.
I'm thinking of other movies like to ask John. Like,
Okay.
You have seen the original 3 Star Wars, yes?
No, I absolutely have not. I mean, I only own them on multiple formats.
Be sarcastic bitch all you want, but that's the same thing as saying you haven't seen 2001 Space Odyssey.
No, they're not in the same league.
you see, John,
What?
like you own.
What?
Oh, jabba jabba.
Heathen. And I'm probably going to be yelled at by the crazy Christians of our group, but seriously, heathen, infidel. What the fuck? How dare you say something from Kubrick is not in the same league?
Again, I don't know who that is.
John, you're digging your own grave here. Okay.
Okay, folks, in the comments, can we get a listing of movies that you feel John should watch? The
Okay,
2000
fine. What we'll do is this. Okay, you guys drop your comments below. Say what movies that I have to have seen, and then what we'll do is at the beginning of next week's episode, before we get tanked, we're going to go down that list, and I'll tell you if I have seen it or if I have not. We'll narrow it down, and we'll start nailing out those movies.
Why not?
Why not?
Actually, John, technically, you don't even own the true Star Wars original trilogy.
Oh,
Sure
don't
I
tell me
do.
you have special.
Sure
You
I
see-
do.
I own the original theatrical editions on Laserdisc.
Oh my god, I knew you were going to say Laserdisc. No. Nobody in this fucking earth has a Laserdisc player,
He
okay?
I do.
does.
I do.
Kevin, sometimes you worry me. You do.
What's
Sometimes
sad
you
is
see-
it's so massive you can only fit like 10 of them side by side in his room.
You see, I have the box set.
Do you also have like
Of-
is your computer like one of those vacuum tube operated?
No.
Because I get it, hipster this, hipster that, but that's just fucking insane.
Whoa.
No, but it wasn't
Don't
actually.
you dare call me a hipster.
If
Really?
we have a video that we released like 2-3 years ago, and that has Kevin showing off the size comparison of a Laserdisc versus a DVD.
I remember this. This happened with me because I remember either seeing this
No,
or B.
you weren't part of it.
Then I probably saw it.
You probably did, you stalker.
Oh well. But yeah, I remember that. Fucking Laserdisc.
Yeah.
Seriously, you are the only person I've ever known in my entire life that has a Laserdisc player, and you're probably the only person on the eastern seaboard, if not this half of the United States, that has a Laserdisc
You
player.
don't remember, Andy, when we used to work for the high school in the tech department? And
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
we
there's
found
one
there was
that
a
has a Laserdisc player. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I remember you guys found the old Mac they had there.
Yeah. But there was a bunch of stuff that they just threw out. There was a couple of old Macs. There was a.
We're
I
getting
just cannibalized it for parts.
Nice. But the one
I'm
thing,
sorry.
the one
It's
thing,
a Mac. The only thing that could be used for is
one
parts.
one thing I'll never forget is how many times we popped the circuit breaker trying to set up laptops. Remember that?
Yeah, that was.
We're in the
that
high
was-
school library. It's the middle of summer. It's blazing fucking hot. And we have pallets of fucking Dell and HP laptops that the school just bought, and we're unboxing them. And now I'm telling you, now you guys understand why I hate unboxing videos. Because it's just, it's like rape.
Even though you do unboxing videos.
Well, there is
No,
an
I
argument
don't.
that unboxing is a kind of like a new fetish
It
that
is.
it teases the viewer, and it. You know what? Hey, I'm not much of a fan for unboxing. I prefer to do the unboxing rather than watching the unboxing. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a fucking craze right now. But you imagine that, Andy, if we were doing an unboxing video for all those laptops? Here's the 1000th unboxing.
We got to a point that we were just either stacking them or throwing them behind us because we just needed to go through them.
We did an assembly line of unboxing.
Yeah.
We basically did the reverse part of what the Chinese do.
three douchebags in a school library unboxing. How many hundreds?
There was actually, I think it was 1,500 laptops.
Yeah, 1,500 laptops over a period of like what, 1 or 2 months?
2 months.
Yeah.
And then we had like 20-something laptops running, trying to pixie boot so that we can install XP on them. So then we would just start playing Magic the Gathering while we're waiting for those fuckers to install.
No, we played Counter-Strike as well.
Oh yeah, Counter-Strike. We played Warcraft 3. We played StarCraft.
That's right, folks. We're the geeks that got paid to play video games in school.
While there were summer school kids paying to learn.
Oh, oh my God, it was so cruel, but it was so awesome at the same time. Because it's one of those scenarios where, well, we were never actually there was never the quintessential douchebag beating up on the geek scenario in the school. We were boring. But it was like one of those things where people you hated, you got to look at them, make eye contact with the fact that, yeah, you're in summer school. I am being paid to play video games while I set up computers. Suck it.
Yep. But then the teachers got mad, complained, bitched. Then we were down to fucking card games.
Yeah.
But we did make the best of it. I throw a cleric at you.
You guys remember we had that? You guys remember that video game club we actually had in school? The secret video game club.
Oh yes, and the server still running? Because I'm pretty sure that thing still has saved all the fucking pirated games we have on there.
I don't know, but I remember that lock folder. Remember what our professor said? He says if you can lock it and hide it, I don't care.
Yep.
And he tries opening it and cracking it and couldn't do so.
I need a shit ton of games.
Mr. Purnell, shout out to you. You made us the horrible, horrible geeks we are today.
Yeah.
That he did. Good times. And then
those were good times.
I did find out that eventually, a year later, someone tried installing games on the computer and he got expelled or suspended.
Womp, womp.
And it was in Mr. Pennell's class. And I'm laughing my ass off. I'm like, we could get away with fucking murder.
Hey, man, they got caught. And to be honest, on more than one occasion, I did remotely connect to the computers in the office. Did I change my grades? No, because I'm not that kind of guy. But it was that bad of a system. If you could get away with it, you could literally get away with murder.
Yeah, we got into the fucking school nurse computer.
Yep. Did we do anything about it? No, we just said, we're in. Now, let's go play video games.
That would have been awesome. Remember the massive shutdown thing we did?
Yes.
We fucking send a command out so every computer in the entire school system shut down.
Brilliant.
Good times.
And there was nothing they could do to stop us. That's why they hired us out.
The thing is, that sucks is that I wasn't there for this.
Yeah, no.
I was doing janitor stuff at that time.
Good times. I hate getting old.
Oh, we're not old
Dude,
yet.
you're only 23.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Quit bitching.
Come on.
What?
Back in my day.
And even then, I'm older than
Hey,
you. Okay?
back in my day, we didn't have Facebook. We didn't have iPhone.
Back in my day, we had a stick and a rock.
Actually, you
and
remember
we beat
that?
the crap out of each other with that stick.
You remember the one guy we worked with? He actually stood in line for the very first iPhone for his girlfriend.
Who was it?
It was the young guy. Jason or something.
Oh, yeah. Dumbass. Yeah, I remember.
Dumbass? Is that what his name
Yes.
is?
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm calling him dumbass.
Dude, the fucker had an Audi. He was sick.
And? I'm sorry. If you were forced to do something like that, one, you have a stupid-ass girlfriend, and two, you are whipped so much.
It was the first iPhone.
It was the first in the beginning of a long line of mediocre crap.
Whoa, man, come on.
We'll get into the Mac versus Windows versus Linux fight
on
later
our tech podcast.
Yes, but for now, the guy was a dumbass.
Yes. Okay. That ends it off, guys. If you actually stuck around to this point, congratulations. But
congratulations. Here is the amount of time you're never going to get back.
exactly. At this point, Andy's voice is ringing in your ear.
Yep.
And you're trying to end the pain by stabbing the
My
drums.
luscious dulcet tones are now ear raping you. Ah.
Alright, see you guys. Take care. Look out for future episodes. Please, definitely check out next week's drunk episode.
And like every week, remember to platypus.
Yes.
What?
Platypus, man.
Platypussy or what?
What? Ew. Furry. Furry!
Oh, don't you
Fucking
know?
Furry!
I am not. Oh, fuck you. I am not a furry.
My little brony.
Fuck
Oh.
you. Fuck you.
Oh, did you get the gift I sent you in the mail?
What?
I didn't get a gift.
Oh, there should have been a nice little DVD coming your way.
Oh my god, please record
no,
that.
you didn't.
Please record the unboxing.
No.
I just want to
You
hear
did-
his reaction.
Yeah, I ordered you the My Little Pony Magic is Friendship.
Oh. You son of a bitch. You fucking son of a bitch.
You clever bastard.
You
John,
clever
you deserve-
bastard.
You deserve
I'm
a
going
slow
to
clap.
walk over to, right now. I'm going to walk over to your house. I'm going to kick your fucking ass.
Oh, you know you love it, Kevin.
He just wants
Oh.
me to watch him with him.
Except your inner furry.
What did you call them? Horse fucking faggots?
You know
I
what's funny
hate
is
you.
that, speaking to bronies, I found out that they have a code word for porn, which is, quote, plot.
Yeah. Dude, they have
So-
they have like a whole friggin' vocabulary. It's fucking sad.
Clopping, clopping, and clopping.
They got like that. They got it's fucking weird.
But Kevin, just, come out.
Okay, okay. Let me go on to the Encyclopedia Dramatica page for Rome.
Kevin,
By the
you're
way,
They have a
addicted.
whole
come
list.
out, I have a few
They have the list.
What
of
did you
this
say,
stuff.
Andy?
If you do come out, Kevin, I do have a few friends that are furries, and I have a few friends that are bronies.
I'm not a fucking furry.
That's our
Seriously,
intro
I'm
right
not.
there.
I'm seriously not a furry. I'm telling you that right
It's
now.
okay. It's okay. By the way, Kevin, I now know where you live.
Oh, nice.
What?
Check your email.
And you got him 2-day shipping. How considerate.
What?
Oh, man.
Oh.
It's coming, Kevin.
Oh, you little shit.
Right now, there is a store somewhere, a giant shipping office that someone just got
Did you,
sort
wait, did you put it under my account? You didn't.
No, he put it on his own account, but it's with your name on it.
I can't change it. Fuck. No, seriously, John, look, please cancel it. I'm asking. I'm
My God,
I'm
this
begging you.
is fucking brilliant.
Cancel it.
That's gonna be. Oh, I
John,
would pay money to watch him pick up the bots.
John, I'm dead serious.
Right now, there's a gentleman out there saying, "Oh, I guess we got another one," who's walking down the aisle to go pick up from the
Oh,
PD aisle.
oh God.
Kid show.
John,
all the
no,
way up to-
John,
and
I'm serious.
iPhone.
Please, John, I'm
He's picking the
seriously
one that
asking
still has
you.
the plastic on
Please
there. And
don't
he's just
do
picked it
that.
up. He's picked it up and he scanned it with his
John,
scanner.
John,
Now he's
cancel
coming back
it right
down
now.
the ladder, and he's just picking up a bunch of other orders. Now, in a couple of
John,
minutes, he's going to
cancel.
get to the bots where they just throw everything in and then they start shipping them.
I'm walking over to your house. I'm going to force you to change it.
The conveyor belt is now moving, and so now it's been put into a box. It's being taped up, and they're slapping on the Kevin. And right now, it's being thrown in the back of a truck. In about an hour, it should be shipped off to the first of the many nodes that it will pass through to reach your wonderful doorstep.
God,
And so it begins.
that's it. I'm walking over to your house, John. I'm serious.
Oh.
Oh, but Kevin doesn't realize this is a doctored photo.
Probably.
He's seriously walking over here.
Remember to give him a hug. Love and tolerate the shit out of him.
I'm just gonna call the cops on him.
Oh, please. Did he actually leave?
Yes.
Oh my god. That's what. I have no words.
I recorded the whole thing.
You're just evil, John. You are just evil. And
Thank you.
that's something coming from me.
Yeah. And just think of it. This is me sober.
You're a vile human being. Congratulations.
I have a very weird, sick sense of humor.
Who doesn't?
No, I legitimately bought it for him. I was just
Oh,
gonna...
so you actually did? Oh,
Yeah.
that's better. That's
Yeah.
fucking better.
Oh.
That's just fucking better.
Well, the awesome thing is your estimated delivery date is April 1st. That's his dad's birthday.
Oh, that's going to be awkward for the family.
It's not like I sent him, like, sex toys.
That would have been actually better, probably. Just like a huge dragon dildo. Just like ginormous, the size of your forearm, with the reservoir tip. You should have not told him and then gone to his house the day it arrived and filmed his reaction opening it up.
That's what I wanted to do. I thought of that, but I'm like, you know what? I'm probably going to be busy that day.
Oh, man. That's wonderful. How far is he from you?
He's about walking distance, maybe 20 minutes.
My God. He's going to be walking in the middle of the night just to cause a commotion.
Oh, yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have set up a tripod and record him coming up to the house.
Brilliant.
I'm going to put a little poster on it that says smile. I like having fun. It's the best $25.94 I spent. I should have did the gift wrapping and everything.
You should have. That would have been...
Maybe. I'm
He's
leaving.
adamant.
I'm leaving.
By the way, from the thing you were talking about before, the if they laugh, they hit you thing, there's another one where it's a 24-hour tag game. And so they're in a gymnasium for 24 hours, and random people run in and start chasing them. And whoever gets tagged gets a horrible, horrible surprise. One of them was being held down by these leather-clad Sentai figures and having little children sit on their face.
You need to send
Another
me
one
this.
another one was they were like shot with a taser, like continuously.
You need to send me this.
Another one was they were just grabbed and then like somebody kicked them in the ass really hard, like a like a freaking like Tybo whatever guy came in and just whacked them. Is he actually going to your house?
I'm not. I wouldn't be